everyone, my name is Laura Raupp, and I'm a sophomore at MacArthur High School in Irving, Texas from Texas FCS Region 3. Today I'm going to be presenting my project, Say Yes to FCS Education Level 2. I want to start off by saying how grateful I am to still have the opportunity to compete at a national level after an abrupt end to our school year. Watching your FCS family come together through social media and online events has proven the resilience of the amazing organization and has made me love it 10 times more than I already did. I decided to take the approach on how I say yes to FCS and my journey through discovering myself through this project. If you go to the first page of my digital portfolio, you will find my FCCLA planning process summary. The planning process summary may seem like a drag to some people, but I was so grateful that it was part of the rubric because it helped me organize my thoughts and later reflect on my mindset. The first part of the planning process summary was to identify a concern. My identified concern came through me being an education and training student and sitting in those classes and observing my classmates' behavior to the material. They would get taught the material, but they wouldn't explore it, they wouldn't be passionate about it, and I observed that through their gestures, through their dialogue, and just their overall attitude. Many students take FCS classes because they're forced to, they want the credit, or they just feel like it'll be a fun blow-off class. My goal throughout this project was to bring awareness to FCS and hope ignite a passion in students like me who may not know everything about FCS, because when I started this project, I certainly didn't know that much about it, and I want to share my experience to inspire others. If you go to page 1 and 2 in my portfolio, you will find my FCS research summary and my state education data. This part of the project was a great introduction to the rubric. I thought it was amazing to research different universities, and the universities I researched are Texas Tech University, Stephen F. Austin University, and Texas State University. I thought it was so interesting to gain insight into my future through universities because it taught me what I can do now in high school to be a successful FCS educator, which is what I want to be. Who knew that a 2.75 high school GPA is one of the minimum program entry requirements for every FCS school in Texas? This part of the project taught me that in high school, I can do things to help me be more successful, like work on my GPA and get more experience. The FCS Education Research Summary helped me say yes to FCS by once again giving me an insight into my future and helping me prepare now for my future. If you go to pages 3 and 4 of my portfolio, you will find my first educator interview summary. The first educator that I chose to interview was my personal advisor, Cynthia Rojas. I've had her for 2 years as my education and training instructor, and I'm so thankful that I got this opportunity of this project to ask her these questions. I observed a lot from being in her classes, but taking the time to interview her and ask her questions directed towards this project and towards herself really showed the kind of teacher she was. What stood out about her interview was that in every question I asked, she included her students in the answer. That shows that a true teacher prioritizes their students and wants to help them succeed for the sole purpose of passion for helping them. If you go to pages 5 and 6 of my portfolio, you will find my second educator interview summary. The second educator that I chose to interview was Oklahoma State University Family and Consumer Sciences professor, Dr. Paula Tripp. I chose to take a different route with this interview because I wanted a post-secondary opinion to just show me into my future, and I could compare it to my advisor now and just see the difference in their teaching styles and their answers, and it was just really nice to give my project some versatility. What stood out most about Dr. Paula Tripp's interview was how she mentioned that she still incorporates FCCLA into her college classes. She makes all of her students attend leadership conferences and judge FCCLA events, and it just shows the power of FCCLA beyond high school and how much lasting impact it can leave on any group of people. The FCS educator interview summaries helped me say yes to FCS because it showed me a direct insight into the kind of educator that I want to be when I grow up. Turn to pages 7 and 8 of my portfolio, you will find my first educator observation summary. The first educator that I decided to observe was once again my advisor, Mrs. Cynthia Rojas. Once again, what stood out most about her observation was that she just cares so much for her students, and you can tell by the conversations she engages in with them. She's also known as the best dressed teacher at our school because of her stylish yet strikingly professional outfits. One of my favorite things in her classroom is the FCCLA bulletin board, as it displays our awards and different information brochures that just can spark any student interest in FCCLA and just helps incorporate it into her class. If you turn to pages 11 and 12 of my portfolio, you will find my FCCLA chapter integration plan. This part of the project helped me focus on 3 different national programs, which were Student Body, Career Connection, and Power of One. Part of the project made me realize how accessible FCCLA Matter is to the public and to all teachers. It showed me how amazing and effective and easy it is to access FCCLA planning processes and national programs to incorporate into different lessons. And it also helped me create mini lesson plans to prepare for my lesson plan, marketing, documentation, implementation. The main national program that I focused on was Student Body because I knew that I wanted to do a nutrition lesson for my actual lesson, and it just helped me prepare and learn the content and expectations for that national program. The FCCLA chapter integration plan helped me say yes to FCS by showing me how easy it is to spark student interest through FCCLA incorporated lessons. If you turn to pages 13, 14, 15 of my online portfolio, you will find my FCCLA lesson plan, marketing, implementation, and documentation. This was a part of a project that I was so excited for because I actually got to apply everything I learned into my own lesson plan and lesson plan by myself and do what I wanted for the class. The class that I taught was my very own human development class for sophomores. My lesson title was called Healthy Snacks for Kids, and it focused on nutrition of a hypothetical elementary school class. The bell ringer that I designed was to walk into class and get sticky notes and find a partner and discuss what you both had for lunch. This was a good introduction to my main lesson because it was a good way to start the talk of nutrition. I then had the students do a Google Slides fill-in-the-blank style notes because Mrs. Rojas often does that, and it keeps the students engaged and interested throughout the whole lesson. During the notes, I focused on each group's allergies and food groups to have a nutritional diet for a certain person or certain group. The main task was I passed out different situations with different allergies. For example, an elementary class of 20 students, first grade, preparing for Halloween. Allergies are a nut allergy and a student who is vegetarian. Make a snack that would satisfy all the children. So they had to design a snack that would fit that criteria, and if they brought it to school, they got extra credit. I decided to do a nutrition lesson because nutrition is not a class that we offer at school. And in human growth and development, we get to explore so many different kinds of projects, and I feel that it's the most versatile and purposeful class taught at my school. So I just wanted to kind of open their eyes to future as a teacher, or just as a future mom or dad, or just future anything that they would have to work with a certain diet. Now I'll be presenting my board. As an education training student, I get to explore so many different projects, and one of my favorites was this one, where we had to take care of a fake baby, and we got graded based on how well we took care of it. This is my amazing advisor, Cynthia Rojas, again, and I'm just so thankful to have her in my life because I can go to her with anything FCS related, and she just helps me and guides me. I am also our chapter president, and I get to participate in lots of leadership events with my officer team, and I'm so thankful for that leadership position because it has helped me reach so many people through social media and just through many connections that will just help me in my future career that I'm so thankful for. And here are other projects that we do in education training class that prepare us. I just want to say thank you again for the opportunity to compete and for this amazing organization, and I just want to express my gratitude for this project that I completed, and saying yes to FCS has made my career path so much clearer and has brought me amazing connections, amazing friends, and just an amazing experience overall this school year. You can never go wrong when you say yes to FCS.